few other people file out from the tavern. As you make your way down the street, on the left-hand side of it, there was a stable that's nothing too interesting about it, just kind of like a ramshackle kind of place. As you come up to this little arena-type place, it's in front of a stone building that has a bit of a raised roof off of the building itself. There were a few training dummies lined around outside of it. The place seems heavily walked upon. The circle itself doesn't seem to have been made unnaturally, more of just formed slowly over time as people used it as a training area. As you come up, he's just kind of like looking at one of the dummies, punches it a few times to make sure that it's going to actually stay, doing his best not to address the crowd that's slowly forming. As the crowd finishes to form, he just kind of looks around, points at Alton. I guess you first?
I suppose I could be, though I must ask what you wish for me to do.
I want to make sure that you're not going to be somebody that's, like, is going to die just a little bit along the way and I waste my gold on.
Well, that's fair, I suppose.
Just show me what you can do with the dummies.
Well, that depends on what you need, because I, my friends, am a mage, a sorcerer at that. I have many tricks up my sleeve, though most notably I work well with flame and planning. I have a bit of alchemical knowledge too, so depends on what you need on or off the field. My favorite trick, though, is this one. And Arden's just going to flick a hand towards one of the dummies, whichever one seems to have the loosest helmet, and use said helmet to fling towards the next one in the line.
You shoot its helmet off, and flings off at the next one. It is definitely hit. That head rolls off as well, and while you kind of lose the momentum with it, that helmet still goes off and hits the third dummy as well. Not doing that much visible damage to it, but you still hit a total of 3 in one shot.
That's not even my greatest magic.
I would hope so. It's a little pathetic, but, good job.
Well, when you can throw things around at will all day, it can get a little tiring if you try too much at once.
He kind of gives you a pat on the back and a little yellow ribbon. This is just gonna say that you passed my test.
Yeah, fair enough. It's my favorite color, too.
I'm really bad with faces, honestly. He just walks off. I guess you next.
Me?
He, like, pats you on the shoulder. Yep.
Okay. I just casually walk over and, very nonchalantly just pull out both my weapons and just do sort of lazy swings at it.
You quickly jab into its guts. A little bit of hay falls out of it. It's not so much that you just stabbed it, it's more of a... You did it in a way that, as you just kind of walked past it, it just had that hole in it. Nobody really noticed you stabbing it that much. Some of the people from behind that have a better angle, maybe, but the stealthiness of it and the dexterity that you used is more of what impresses him. Okay.
There you go.
Hands you a little yellow ribbon.
Why, thank you, and I bow to the crowd.
You, he points at... Not Layla, but... this blue creature with a red nose. He stands at about 6.5 feet tall, and he doesn't seem to have any weapons on him. Okay. He walks up, his voice a little bit higher pitched than what you would expect for his form. He walks up and he hugs the dummy. Is that it? The guy looks back. Yeah? No. Okay. He just kind of walks off. The dummy just explodes. He hands him a yellow ribbon and just walks back.
Uh, Art just kind of scratching his head. Was that magic?
So you know that it wasn't exactly a spell. Whenever he hugged it, he seemed to have planted a bomb on it.
Hmm.
And it took it a second to explode, and it did.
Alchemy, huh?
He points off at Layla.
She approaches and kind of gets in her way where everyone can get a good look at her. She says, "Now, understand me. I wouldn't be carrying this lug of steel on my back if I didn't know how to use it. The reason why you'd want me as part of your group," she looks back to the employer, "is because I can stitch whatever the hell that desert's going to throw at them. So, one of you, I need a volunteer. Someone come forward. Someone tough. Come on."
If only Warren was here.
I'll step forward. This ought to be good. I roll up my sleeves.
Alright.
Whatever do you need me for?
I'm going to punch you right square in the chest, and you need to sit there and take it for me. Can you do that, champ?
Oh, of course, of course.
Alright. Here we go. And she barely gives you, like, time after she says that before she just thrusts her gauntlet right into.
It's a hard hit. It knocks the wind out of you. A little bit of blood escapes your mouth as she does this. Take 6 points of damage.
And in, like, the same maneuver, like, she punches with her right arm, but in her left arm, like, gathers these, like, little motes of light. As she kind of does, like, with that hand, kind of like a miniature, like, Goku powering up for fucking Dragon Ball Z, as she glows for but a moment, and, like, a circular sphere just escapes out and kind of shoots at you like a projectile, but when it makes contact with you, it doesn't actually hurt you, just disperses.
That was a good punch.
Like, this guy just kind of, like, smacks his hands together and is just like, okay, cool, you fucking... He snaps and, like, points at you. That's what I'm talking about. An actual full-on cleric here. He hands you a yellow ribbon.
I pat Reviv on the back as I get my ribbon.
Oh, this light is certainly interesting. As I chuckle and just walk back.
For the most part, he goes through, just kind of giving you the cliff notes. This halfling kind of just, like, comes up, punches in mid-air, like, 3 times, and then lands, and then the dummy just falls over. This guy shoots lightning at one of them. This guy just has a big hammer, whacks it a few times, with a satisfying thud. This woman throws needles one after another, not really seeming to do anything, but she just kind of comes up, flicks one of the needles, and the stitching of the dummy just falls apart. This man over here, he just kind of looks at it. I really don't want to do any of this, so can I just, like, not take the 10 gold to start and just... He just shrugs. And he flicks, nods, sure. If you're not gonna take my money, that's fine. This guy, he just comes up, punches it a few times. Seems like satisfying thuds enough to where he's passed as well. This woman, well, this one's a little bit more interesting. She walks up to the center, looking at everything, looking at him. You guys watch as she just looks him deep into the eyes. Small sparks of magic leap from her to him. Nothing really seems to happen, but his eyes widen. Reading the energies of the spell, looking to the reflections of his eyes, you can see the image of the area around him just erupted into flames. Everything is destroyed, everyone else is dead. She snaps. He's seemingly snapped out of it, looks at her, hands her a ribbon. She walks away. The kid next to her, he goes, "Wow, Margaret, that was awesome! You did so great!" You didn't really see anything, kid. Yeah, but you looked so cool doing nothing! This kid walks up. I can't really stab anything because Mommy said that sharp objects I'm not allowed to hold, but I'm told I give really good moral support. He hugs Hodge's leg. He just looks down at him. No. The kid, looking disappointed, slowly walks away. This man, he punches the dummy a few times. Again, nothing really too special about what he's doing. They're satisfying thuds. He's passed as well. This lizard folk, standing at about 7 feet tall. Many of you probably haven't seen his kind before, as they are fairly rare on this part of the continent. He gets close to the dummy, and as he does so, almost doing what Raviv did, lazily stabs it. It's not so much about how he's stabbing at it, more about the fact of he's doing it with so much finesse and subtlety that the actual motion of it is hard to notice unless you were looking at his hands. And again, it's passed. Okay, so yeah, looks like y'all formed your own little groups.
No, excuse me. One thing from me, actually, if you don't mind.
Yeah?
A friend of mine who I travel with, and up until now has been the only one to make it through anything with me. He was busy at the time, but he was wishing to come along as well. About 7-foot-ish half-orc man.
Was he the one that was, like, destroying that corner of the tavern?
Maybe. I think so, yes.
Anything with that well of constitution, he just hands you another ribbon.
Fantastic. I apologize that he couldn't make it. I will make sure to deal with that later.
At any rate, looks like everybody but the kid, and he looks at the animals. He looks at the people holding animals. Are they sentient, or are they just animals? He looks over at the falcon at first. The guy holding him, he has like half of his head shaved off. His hair goes really long on the other side. It's just a falcon, dude. The woman says, "Oh, yeah, actually, you see, our little buddy here, his name is Acorn, and he is extremely smart, extremely intelligent, and definitely you should pay him for coming along with us." She just kind of like pokes the beaver-looking thing forward. It just chitters a little bit. Okay, you can go at it. She walks up a little bit close. Layla and Raviv, you notice that she smears something on the back of this. Instantly, as she does so, Acorn, the beaver-looking thing, its teeth come out. Its two very prominent buck teeth almost double in size, and it leaps at this, ripping out the throats. See, he's capable. I'll just take his money for him. He looks at her, shrugs, hands the ribbon off. Alright, so, for those of you that got ribbons, Wilma over here will hand out the money. As for the moke, don't really care what else you get from the tomb. I just want to know where the tomb is, and there is a particular gem. It is purple, it is shiny, it is big. Bring that back here, and you'll get your finished off payment. Anything else you find in there, fair game for you. Any questions? Looks around. The kid raises his hand.
Do you have even the slightest idea where this tomb might be, or are you just asking us to go wander in the desert?
Oh, I'm asking you to find the tomb.
Yes, but where exactly? Some kind of general information would be very nice.
Look, I don't know. A lot of you are capable. You probably have some trackers amongst you. He points at Alton. He looks smart. Probably read about it in a book or something. I don't fucking know. Just find it.
Well, maybe. I'll check it later. Though had I known we could bring animals to get paid, I might have done that. I picked up
He
some
just
war
looks
dogs.
over at the beaver that's still ripping out the throat of this dummy. I honestly just don't want to tell it no.
You generally don't want to tell angry war dogs no either.
That's a good point. It, like, finished gnawing through the dummy's neck, and the head just kind of falls free. If you have any more questions, I'm gonna go get drunk. So, see you at the bar.
Well, that was certainly an event to behold for sure. Nice to meet both of you. Never introduced myself. Layla. Lets out her hand to shake.
Arden puts his on as well. Wonderful to meet you as well. I'm sure you heard I'm Arden. Arden Mead.
Frankly, I feel more comfortable working with, well, him. She looks to Raviv. He's a good sport, and you, well, I mean, you don't look wizardly, but you might as well be. I saw what you did. Whatever. We're probably going to need your expertise if we're going to go into, I think it was a Mage King's tomb of all things. Who knows what gods given traps are laden in there.
Indeed, it sounds like a wonderful time, really. We should pick up our gold now.